This electric cargo bike has dual batteries and a 750 watt motor and a variety of accessories. MSRP is $2,099, but it is on sale for $1,599 in the link below this video. And if you don't want dual batteries, you can get the single battery version for even less, and you can get a 500 watt variation of this e-bike for even less. So you can kind of pick and choose what you need on this one. In today's video, we're going to unbox it, take a closer look at it, then take it out for a full review and see what the Yoto Lion is made of. Let's check out what's inside these boxes. We got the real king of the jungle here helping us unbox today. Get in there, bro. So it looks like some sort of rails for the back, a rear rack, a front rack, another rear rack. You got the right idea, dude. You got the right idea. You gotta use your back leg though. Back leg. Yo, let me show you. And we are rolling on plastic fenders. Doggy is very confused. He wants to play. Get it. Get him. And this one is rolling on 26 by 4 inch knobby fat tires. Rolling on 180 millimeter brake rotors. Yo, look, hey, here, go get it. And this electric cargo bike runs a 20 by 4 on the rear with a 26 by 4 up front. This dude is truly helping unbox this thing. There you go. The rear rack is the frame. Makes the whole thing stronger for carrying stuff. And it comes with wooden floorboards. And it comes with a wide padded seat for passenger on rear. Here's the thickness of it. Feels more on the firm side, but it is wide, which is nice. Driver's seat is wide. Get the little pogo spring suspension. Quick adjust lever, so seat can fit a variety of riders. If you want to swap that seat post out for a higher quality one, you get a 31.8 millimeter diameter Yoto bike. Bro got a hold of the packaging again. Keys will remove the frame integrated battery, and if you want to run dual batteries, the other one drops in right back here. Looks like we might need to wire that up. And before I forget, there is a chain guard on this one. This little plastic piece here covering the crank and the chain. It's actually not super common to see this. Heck yeah, between me and him, we'll have this thing unpackaged in no time. Very diligent helper here. The frame integrated battery is a 48 volt, 20 amp hour, 960 watt hours of energy. Pretty solid size on its own, but it is a cargo bike. So once you load these things up with some weight, pick up some speed, you could burn this thing out. And since it is a cargo style e-bike, we do get the center mount style kickstand. Wow, that's a wide one. Dude, that is like the widest stance center mount kickstand I've ever seen. Keeps the bike super stable when you're loading stuff up on the back. Also makes it easy to put that front wheel on. Come on, bro, we don't need help right now. I appreciate your efforts, sir. Comes with an adjustable stem so you can raise and lower your handlebars. We do have front suspension on this e-bike. The left stanchion has a basic open and lock adjustment. And it is a cargo bike, so we get these 4 mounting points up front. So we'll throw that front rack on there. Mounts right on there, and we do get a couple mounting points here, so you can attach additional stuff on. Kind of wondering, will this go on there? Oh yeah, it will. So those mounting points line up exactly with these holes. So you can mount that front basket on there just like that. The bolts for the big boy here will not line up. The big rack is designed for the back here, but you would have to take the seat pad off to access those bolts. I mean, I think you get the idea. We're gonna keep this seat pad on here and install these. These are some pretty serious bolts, dude. Bro, what the? I need a stronger drill. Holy, yeah, dude, these bolts require some serious torque. Have fun with these. And before we throw those floorboards on here, take a peek at the derailleur. It is a tourney from Shimano and rolling on a Shimano 7-speed cassette. And while we're down here, the rear hub motor is a 48 volt, 750 watt. It's a geared hub motor. You can get this bike in a 500 watt variation. It's a little bit cheaper. Looks like the way this works is they just kind of line up, slides on it. Then there is no mount for the front one. The rear one just kind of clips on, just like that. So that's what they look like when you get them on. Then on the back, we do get a rear taillight. So here's what we're looking like. This is basically like a rear child cargo area. I've been told I'm a man-child, so maybe I can get back here. Oh God, seems a little dangerous. Probably shouldn't do this. It's got the whole protective cage deal here. Makes it a little bit difficult for a full-size adult to get on there. So we're about to pop that battery on there, but first, what charger do we get? 3 amp charger, not too shabby. So 20 amp hours divided by 3 amp charge rate would be about 6.5, 7-ish hours to charge from completely empty to completely full for the one battery. We'll pop that on in there. And let's take a peek at these handlebars. So we do have faux leather ergonomic grips, twist throttle on the right. Same old 7-speed Shimano shifter we see on every bike. We do actually have different Symeyers hydraulic brakes with mineral oil. Symeyers? Levers feel nice. Left side appears to have turn signals, a horn, and all of our controls. Here's the screen. Let's power it up. So it is a color display. Looks like we got our battery readout over here. I like that we get our battery voltage up here in the top right. A 48 volt battery charged to max would be 54.6. This is actually not fully charged, but it kind of looks like it is there. Then we have our pedal assist levels. So you can turn it off, 1, 2. So we get color codes as we go up. And this might be a wattage meter. Let's tap that M button a couple times here. So we get average speed, trip. Oh, so we do get wattage of the motor. Love to see that. So of all the e-bikes I have reviewed, I actually have not seen this display yet. These handlebars do just kind of naturally rotate back. Wonder what the horn sounds like. Pretty loud. Typically to turn the headlights on, you would hold the up button here. Yep. So the light is mounted right here. Yeah. And you could just kind of barely see it shining on the Yoto bike over there. Let's try a turn signal. No indication of a turn signal on the dash. However, we do get a rear turn signal, as well as a rear light. And if I turn off the lights, I'm guessing that light just turned off. Yes. Signal's still on though. And when I grab the brake lever, does it light up? Only you know. So hopping aboard this electric cargo bike, first you gotta kind of roll it off this center mount kickstand. This is like really good for loading up cargo because it'll keep the bike balanced and centered. And then we do have the step-through frame design, making it easy to get on for people of multiple heights. I am 6'5", inseam 34. Hopping aboard here. This is what I'm looking like on this bike. So here's what my pedal stroke will look like. It's got that rear suspension seat post on there. That rear pogo stick. So throwing the seat on maximum height. Just to give you an idea of the size of this electric bicycle, stepping aboard here. Here's what my pedal stroke will be looking like. Front suspension does not have adjustments. Looks like this headlight's actually about to get racked if we got compressed. Oh yeah, compressed it too much. So let's go ahead and feel out the power levels of that motor. Pedal assist 5, full throttle, ready to go. And here's a closer look at the hydraulic brakes. All right, dudes, let's check out the Yoto bike, Lion. As you can see here, I kind of have this rigged up a little bit, kind of as like a grab bar for an adult rider rather than a children's child cage. So of course we have the Strava fired up so we can check our official range on this dual battery cargo bike. And we are on a full charge on both batteries as indicated by the 54 volts there on the screen. So the very first test we're gonna do on the Yoto bike Lion is run it up to 20% grade on pedal assist 5. We're gonna do throttle only. I weigh 200 pounds, ready, go. And it does have a watt meter there, so it shows us it is outputting 1100 watts, 1200 watts, 1159 watts, pulling us up to 20% grade on throttle only. So decently torquey bike, and torque is a good thing to have on a cargo bike, you know, because you're gonna be pulling stuff probably. So let's go ahead and see how this thing is to ride in case, you know, your battery dies when you're on it. Riding on pedal assist 0, you know, it's a heavy e-bike. Wouldn't really want to be riding this thing, you know, without any power. But, you know, if your battery dies, it can be done. I'm cruising about 4 miles an hour here. Stop, throw this thing on pedal assist 1 and give it a little throttle off the line to get it rolling. And just give it a little bit of pedaling here. So take us up to about 6 miles an hour there. Let's try pedal assist 2. I think this is a torque sensor on this one. It feels like a torque sensor. So a torque sensor gives you power in proportion to how hard you're pressing on the pedals. You can't just kind of like ghost pedal it. So like I'm just rotating my legs but not putting in any power of my own. Unless you use the throttle, in which case now you get access to all the power. So the torque sensor gives you an intuitive riding experience while you're pedaling. Kind of just, you know, allows you to ride a bicycle but juices you up just a little bit. So pressing a little bit harder here. Pedal assist 3 makes you work a little bit less hard for it. And it's a unique setup on this bike. You know, the big 26x4 up front and then the shorter 20x4 on the rear. So kind of like a staggered setup. A lot of times I think the reason they throw the smaller wheel on the rear is to make, you know, room for that cargo rack. All right, let's see about pedal assist 5 now. Yep, as expected. Now it's giving me about 400 to 500 watts here. And it feels like a pretty good torque sensor. Like it's responsive to how hard I'm pressing on the pedals. So, you know, I'm just helping it a little bit right now. It's giving me about 52 watts of power. Press a little bit harder. Now it's giving me 300 watts. Press even harder. Now it's giving me 600 watts. Yeah, feels like a pretty good torque sensor. So let's go ahead and take this thing off-road just a little bit. You're gonna hear a little bit of clanging around back there, just the way that those floorboards are mounted on. They don't fully snug up with the bolt. You could put a different bolt in there. And then, you know, this has got the front suspension fork on it. So it's either lock or unlock. So it's great that it does have a suspension fork on there, because, you know, if you're carrying, you know, say some eggs or something on that front rack, they'll be insulated from the bumps a little bit. Also, obviously, insulates the whole frame and bike from bumps as well. No suspension on the rear, which is typical of cargo e-bikes, so passengers on the back might be bouncing around a little bit, but that's why it's good to be the driver. So let's go ahead and give this thing full throttle, pop out here on the big boy road and see what it does on throttle. So it'll take you beyond 20 miles an hour. So yeah, we're already hitting 27 on 28, 30 into headwind here. So this thing cranks, man, giving about 900 watts of power right now, 975,000 watts. Let's go ahead and try and pedal a little bit. Yeah, can't really keep up. We do have blinkers on this bike, so we'll throw in a blinker here, cut across a couple lanes of traffic. And since this bike's a little bit wider, I don't think I'll be doing any lane splitting quite yet, but since this bike does go beyond 20 miles an hour, so on these kind of bikes, you know, you can kind of pop out here and feel confident riding on the roads, keeping up with some city street paced traffic. Flip on a blinker here, pop on over in the bike lane. There is no bike lane, but we're making one. And then we are on dual batteries. They are running together, so they are blended, which will give you better peak power performance and better total range than if you ran off one battery alone. So some e-bikes, they will actually run off just a single battery at a time. And I said I wasn't going to be doing any lane splitting, but here we are. Oh yeah, here we are. Watch out, broskies. Up here at the Escalade. This thing's like the Escalade of e-bikes. Well, I don't know about the premiumness of it. We'll see today. That's definitely not the Ferrari of e-bikes, but there is the Ferrari of the streets. So to give you an idea of the acceleration on this thing, let's go ahead and give it a rip here. Pedal assist 5, I weigh 200 pounds, full throttle, ready, go. So gets on that power pretty quick, feels decently peppy. 10 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. So for a cargo bike, yeah, pulls respectably quick, 750 watts nominal. I think I said 25 amp controller, so solid power. Now if we had the big rack on the back, we could probably help assist here, moving some stuff. And in case you decide you want to get wild, take your cargo on a joyride, I'll show you how fast it goes. So we'll start pedaling here a little bit. 22. 25 on board. It appears the speedometer is dead on, so 27 on the GPS, and motor is pulling us up to 28. Yeah, right around 28 miles an hour, still pulling about 700, 900 watts of power there, and kind of topping us out. And like I said before, I can't keep up with the pedaling really at this speed. Feels smooth, stable, can take the hands off the handlebars. Oh, maybe a little bit of wobble there, but nothing crazy. So we got the fat tires and pretty good power. It'll be curious to see, can it ride on the sand? So before we try it on the easy stuff out there, let's go ahead and try and go up this sandy uphill section. Full throttle, let's see how it does. And not quite, but you know, you can always hop off of it. Give it a full twist of the throttle there, kind of, you know. It does have the step-through frame, which makes it easy to get on, but just not like a normal step-through. It's got this double reinforced bar here to give it a little bit more frame rigidity. Let's try riding over here on this harsh stuff. So I forgot to mention, it does have the suspension seat posts built in, which will kind of help alleviate some of the bumps back there. It doesn't do anything for the actual cargo on the back. Gosh darn it, I totally just dropped my screen and smashed it. All right, let's see how it does out on the sand. So suspension seat posts isolate you from those bumps a little bit. And this is an interesting setup because it has the 26 on the front and the 20 on the back. So we should have pretty good handling for steering up front, but on throttle only, really just not quite enough power on the Yoto Lion to make it on through. But we do have the throttle, so you could kind of, you know, if you're trying to do a little beach date or something, you could just stand beside it and do this. So let's go give it a test on the 12% California incline, 85 feet climb. We'll see how it does. So one thing most of these cargo bikes have in common is they have a long wheelbase, which actually makes them, oh, there's a ladder chilling here. Makes them feel more stable at speed, but kind of gives them a little bit more of a lethargic handling. This is pulling us up the loop-de-loop here under throttle only, pulling 1100 watts. We do have hydraulic brakes. 180 millimeter rotors. Oh, you're good. as I was saying, the handling, you know, you have a little bit wider of a turn radius. Oop. And a little bit of weight. So we'll do throttle only here at the base of the California incline. I'm just gonna put my feet on those floorboards back there. Don't even have my feet on the pedals, so we're pulling this thing up. 1,000 watts, 13 miles an hour. Yeah, it pretty much peaks out right around 1,200 watts, and we're pulling a consistent 13, 1,200, 1,100, 24 watts, 17 miles an hour, pulling strong. So 750 watt nominal motor can definitely peak out more than 750 watts. We can easily pull this 1,200 watts, 1,000 watts here for a little bit of time. Looks like we're peaking out right around 18, 19 miles an hour, not pedaling up the California incline at all. And a big, long, wide, sweeping turn on this cargo bike. And then, what better place to test the brakes than going down the California incline? So we have hydraulic brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. Throttle only will bring us up to 28 or so. And we got a bunch of people here today, so we'll give them a bit of a pull early. Pretty solid braking performance. I could try to scare you guys a little bit too, you know, just. So let's say you're going about 20 miles an hour, need to come to a stop quickly. Let's pull these brake levers and yeah, they get the job done. You definitely tell there's a little bit of weight on this bike, but the hydraulic levers gives you a linear braking force. Let's go ahead and pull the front one a little harder this time. Solid.
And what do you call it, an ultra up and all that stuff? I've seen them for like 800, 1,000 or something.
Yeah, this
sometimes you've seen some like 700.
Yeah, I think this one's like 1,400. But this one has 2 batteries, so like there's one there.
This one, the same one. That's a Yoto. Is it pretty good, fast?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It goes like 28, which is like pretty typical Class 3 performance.
So is this what controls it, right? So then I remember I heard about that. You got a key and you can remove the battery. Right?
Yeah, there's
this one, right?
Both of them. Yeah, there's a key so you can remove this battery out of the frame and this one too. So
okay, so they won't steal it and then you put it in your backpack. Especially here in Santa Monica, you probably see. I remember I used to come here when I was a kid. And I remember we used to be at the Revere, but this is way back when they had the braking and they used to be good singers over here with the guitar. I don't know if they're still there.
There's some bad ones. There's good ones too. Enjoy. Have
a good one, bro.
Yeah, you too, man. So we are currently sitting at 51 volts on the dual batteries. We're gonna head on home, check the final range, but first let me share my final thoughts on the Yoto Lion cargo bike. So I mean, dual batteries is always a good thing for cargo, in my opinion. You know, if you're gonna be carrying extra weight, you're gonna burn through more battery for sure. And if you wanna run higher speeds, you know, dual batteries is always an excellent thing to have. If you do want to buy the dual battery version, it's listed for $1,600 in the link below this video in the description box. You can save yourself about $200 if you only do the single battery version. And if you do click on the link in the description box, if you decide this is the e-bike for you and use that link below the video, that would help support my reviews here on Tail Happy TV. And I would greatly appreciate your support. And it also helps get you the best price on this e-bike. So I mean, cargo bike, dual battery, torque sensor, really not a bad value at all for the price. But before you buy it, let's head on home, check the final range. And this thing's still pulling strong. We're about back to the neighborhood, and I should mention, I really did not pedal this bike at all, except for just kind of the demonstration of the torque sensor on the pedal assist system. I'm gonna flip a blinker on here, merge on over a couple lanes. So just rolling back into the neighborhood here, we did 19.06 miles, hour 49 minutes ride time, average speed 10.41 today. And pulling up the battery voltage here, it says 49.9 volts, and it is showing shows over 50% remaining on the battery life. 48 volts is about 50% remaining, and we do have the dual batteries, so should see some pretty solid range out of this thing, considering, you know, use a little bit less than half the batteries at 19 miles throttle only. And then of course the other benefit of the dual batteries is you don't have to bring both batteries all the time. If you want to keep it a little bit lower weight, you just run it on one battery. So there you have it. This is the Yoto Lion. If you want to grab one, click that link down below the video in the description box. Buy through that link. It would help support my reviews here on Tail Happy TV. Of course, I would greatly appreciate your support, and that'll also help hook you up with the best prices. However, if this is not the cargo bike for you, maybe you should watch this video. Catch you over there.